Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. Here we are at the final Iron Banner for Destiny 1. It is definitely a very bittersweet time as Destiny 1's lifecycle does come to a close, and it's inspired me to perhaps do something a little rash, and that is purge my entire arsenal. So yeah, let's get into it. So for the last time, let's head over to Lady Aphrodite and see what she has to offer us. Gonna pick up these bounties for the last time, very sad about that. But on a very happy note, both the boots and the helmets are basically perfect rolls. So if you're missing these or just want better versions of them, definitely pick them up. And then for the sniper rifle, we have the Laughing Heart. The rolls on this aren't too bad. Hidden Hand definitely being a very useful perk, but if you play around in the Iron Banner this week, you will most likely find a better roll in no time. Moving on to the rank 5 item, we have the Lingering Song Hand Cannon. The one available for sale has a choice between Luck in the Chamber and Firefly. These are definitely good perks, but I'm not the biggest fan of this hand cannon nor this sniper rifle, but as you'll see why in just a minute, I might go ahead and play around with them this time around. Now, there was some speculation because they didn't give us the gear sets in the This Week in Bungie that Lady Aphrodite would have every piece of gear available for sale. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's definitely still a very bittersweet moment either way. Now, of course, today is a very sentimental day to be sure, and there's a lot of sort of feels going around, at least that's what I'm feeling pretty hard this week, that Destiny 1 is definitely coming to a close. Destiny 2 is about a month away at this point, and I couldn't be more excited for that, but we have spent 3 years in this game. A couple weeks ago, before the beta started, I was watching one of my favorite Twitch streamers, King Athalion, and he went through and actually deleted all of the items from all 3 of his characters, and he thought it was very cathartic, and I kind of wanted to do something similar. So I thought it would be a great idea to follow suit, because he made a very good point in that we will always have the memories from the last 3 years of Destiny, and the weapons and collections themselves are not that big of a deal, and as you can see, the only thing I held on to was my Year 1 Devil You Know, because it was pretty much the only weapon I used during the vanilla era. It's not even that great of a roll, but at least it does have Sure Shot IS, and then it does have Return to Sender, which honestly is probably the reason I didn't notice how bad the ammo economy was for hand cannons in Year 1. And then we have Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, and Skip Rounds. And then finally, Grenadier. Not even that great of a perk, but this was just the weapon I had. Back then, I only had my Titan. I didn't even have my extra characters, and so the loot flow was pretty limited. And so we kind of played with whatever we got, no matter how bad the perks were. At least I did. And, well, I guess I never ascended this weapon. I might have... Oh, and here's my makeshift scarf, the other only piece of armor that I held on to as far as extra armor sets. And I might be getting a lot of these items here before Destiny 2 comes out. This looks pretty cluttered. I think I have... Yep, there it is. Etheric Light. So let's grab that guy. And let's go ahead and ceremoniously ascend my Devil You Know. And let's go ahead and ascend it finally. There you are. You are ascended at an entire 170 light. And aside from that, this is what I'm left with. I went ahead and outfitted all my characters with a full set of armor from their faction, and I didn't really leave anything else. As you can see, there's no exotics, no other legendaries. This is the only thing they own. And I did decide to keep one exotic piece of armor, and I approached it as the exotic piece of armor that I would most want to bring into Destiny 2. For my hunters, it is my Bones of Aao. They're one of my favorite exotics for the hunter, just because you get that 4th jump and it's super fun. And as far as weapons go, for my hunter, she has the Hung Jury SR4, one of my favorite scout rifles, if not my favorite scout rifle in the game. And then of course we have the Fatebringer, no explanation needed there. The Event Horizon quickly became one of my favorite sniper rifles, and I really like the rolls that are on mine. And then moving on from that, we have my exotic choice for special, which is the Chaperone, which of course is my favorite exotic special. Moving on to my heavy weapons, I have my Herald Quillus Terminus, which is just a super awesome machine gun, and then of course Iron Yalahorn. Moving on to my Warlock, he has all of the Future War Cult gear. The exotic I decided to keep was the Claws of Ahamkara, gotta have that second melee. Then for the weapons, I have the Eyes Luna hand cannon for my legendary primary of choice. It's not the greatest roll, but it does have Rifled Barrel, which is sort of its savior. Aside from that, it has Triple Tap and Grenadier. These are really rare, so I sort of stick with the one that I found. For the exotic, I chose the Steel Medulla. For the specials, I start with the Aethernova Fusion Rifle and the Trespasser Sidearm. And then for heavy, I have the Silver Dread and the Sleeper Simulant. Moving on to my Titan, I have outfitted him currently with the Genesis Chain and my favorite exotic of the game, the Outbreak Prime. For specials, I have the Stolen Will. This is definitely one of my favorite shotguns, and the rolls are pretty awesome here. I got full auto oiled frame and replenish. And then the special is Icebreaker for exotic. For my heavy, I started with the Sound and Fury rocket launcher, just because I wanted a legendary rocket launcher. And then of course, for exotic, I couldn't resist but choosing the Dark Drinker. Good old Dark Drinker. And then for the armor, I have the New Monarchy set. And then the exotic I decided to keep was the Helm of Saint 14, just because I think it's one of the most iconic pieces of exotic gear in the game, and it's definitely my favorite for the Titan. And that's pretty much my entire arsenal, sort of boiled down to my top picks of weapons in the entire game. Now, as I mentioned before, this was very cathartic. I enjoyed going through all of my weapons and remembering where I got them, remembering how much I used them in certain situations, and at the very least, between now and September, I'll have something to do, and it'll definitely get me to pay closer attention to all of my drops. And I kinda like the idea of doing this more often during the Destiny 2 life cycle. But anyways, let me know if you're going to be participating in this final Iron Banner. Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time.